Hi, everyone. This is Candace Cordelia coming to you again with another exclusive interview for Pro Wrestling Illustrated. I am sitting here virtually with the one and only Franky Monet of WWE NXT. How are you today, Franky?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for being able to sit with me and chat. We have a lot to get into. But first of all, I just wanted to get more into the background of your talents as a wrestler. I understand that you have a background in dance and fitness and ballet and gymnastics.
I have very layered. I have many layers.
As you do. So my first question for you today is really, how did you get started in so many athletic endeavors?
Obviously my parents were the first ones to put me in dance and all these kinds of things when I was a little kid. Like I think I started ballet and gymnastics when I was three or 4 years old. So obviously at that time, it's your parents seeing that have an athletic ability or you like to perform. And I was always a ham, like constantly. I remember like as kids, me and my sister and our friend and this is now is so funny to me. It's like we started a dance theater company in our living room and we were calling ourselves the Superstars of all things. And we used to charge our parents money and we put on like full productions, like if it was our favorite movie or like whatever it could be. I think we did the Nutcracker like a million times over. So, I've always just been that kid, that person that loves to perform. So I think that my parents saw that in me. And so they put me in gymnastics and ballet and musical theater. And also I was very athletic. So I, played soccer. I ran, track and field all the way through high school. So it's just kind of sports entertainment really has been part of my life, my entire life. So it was kind of, and a lot of people say like, isn't it a little weird or different that like you come from this super classical ballet trained person into wrestling? And the answer is it's not weird to me. I think that so many aspects cross over the work ethic, the determination that you have to become, at a certain level within the world of sports entertainment is very similar to how hard it is to be in the world of ballet or any sort of, of the arts. So I think it all really led me to this moment. And at first I feel like my parents didn't really get it because I don't come from pro wrestling, but over time, they came and saw me in shows, in Canada, they saw me in shows in Mexico, they saw me in shows in the States, and now they're huge fans. So there you go.
Yes. When you told your parents or your family rather that you wanted to be a wrestler, what was their initial reaction to that?
My mom and my dad were both like very surprised, but at the same time, I have always been very supportive of all these kind of strange ideas that I have. So, or just that they, I left after high school to go study ballet at the University of Calgary. And then like from there, I got into fitness. And so I've always just kind of been like exploring these other facets of, sports and entertainment. So it was, when I said I was getting into wrestling, they were just kind of like, okay. I had a lot of friends on the other hand that thought I was completely out of my mind. But I think that's part of it. I feel like when you are the one person that sees a vision or you're the one person that sees that dream, it doesn't matter if there's 5 or 100 people saying that they don't really think that's a good idea or that they don't believe in you, because ultimately I'm the one who knew that this was something I wanted to do. I'm the one that had to, put myself through all the training and traveling and stuff because it didn't matter. I always knew what the end goal was.
Mm-hmm. And, your fans have followed you through your tenure in multiple promotions and working in so many matches, doing amazing work. And now you're with WWE. It sounds like you always knew that this was going to be a place that you'd end up. Is that correct?
Yes, I always saw this as the be all and end all. It's the WWE. This is where, you want to be. This is where you come to be seen, to be around the best, sports entertainers in the world. So ultimately I knew that this was my end goal. Of course, there's times when I was like, is this going to happen? Is this not going to happen? But just like I said, like I had this vision. I'm a very determined person when I have something in my head and I'm going for that. I can never be told no. I will continue to claw my way to like, prove that I belong or prove that I am as good as I am or whatever it is, So I've just always been very determined, and that determination and stubbornness, maybe to a certain level, got me here, and it's taken me over a decade. I wouldn't have it any other way. This is exactly where I'm meant to be in this moment. The universe has a plan. Like it always has a plan. It tests us so many times along the way, but this is where I'm meant to be. And I couldn't be prouder to be part of the WWE universe and a part of NXT.
Mm-hmm. And you've always struck me personally as someone who's very sharp-minded, very business oriented and knows exactly what you want to do. And having said that, now you are venturing into the world of film. You have a movie out now called Unchained, which the premise sounds amazing. I'm such a huge horror movie adventure buff. And when I first read the synopsis, I was like, I have to see this. This sounds awesome. So if you don't mind talking to our audience about your role in the movie, what the movie is about, and just what led up to being cast in Unchained.
So my character in the movie is someone that is completely different than what you see on your TV screens, every Tuesday night on NXT, or that you've seen along the way in my career. She is very stripped down. She is very harsh. She is a badass. I mean, that's, part of who I am. Anyways, but no, she's just very different than who Franky is or who Taya Valkyrie is. And I just think that it was very interesting for me to take on a role like that and be stripped down. There was not a lot of makeup except for dirt and, my hair is pulled back and it's very unglamorous, but I think that that's really interesting and important to kind of test out, your acting ability and your ability to kind of go in and out of different kind of roles. So I think it was a great experience for me. I'm forever grateful, even though I'm sad that it took so long to come out, but here we are, pandemic year. Let's chalk that up as a loss. But I'm just happy that it's out now. It's available now on Amazon Prime. Everyone can check it out. Unchained. It's like an action thriller. And I think you're all really going to enjoy it.
Excellent. How did you prepare for the role? Did you have to employ an acting coach, or what went into that?
I did not. I just practice. And I just really thought about, when you're in sports entertainment, everything is so big because you're projecting across this arena or wherever you are, right? And when you're in a television or a different television situation or in a film, like the cameras are like literally here. So I really had to practice just not being so big and really bring it back. And that was really fun. And honestly, my husband, John, helped me a lot in going through everything. My mom, when she watched the movie, she was just like, oh my gosh, I've just never seen you just so calm and just right there in that moment, just that close to you. So I'm glad, I'm proud of myself. I think it's definitely a stepping stone, and I love challenging myself with new things. And this was definitely a challenge for me, but in the best possible way.
Now, Eric Roberts is also in this movie, and I'm just curious to know if he gave you any acting advice, if you have any scenes with him or anything of that nature.
I did not have any scenes with him at all. Everything was very condensed. I can remember I was shooting Impact and then I was literally flying back to Los Angeles to do my parts in the movie. So we were just everything was done very quickly. So I did not get a chance to meet him. My mom asked the same question. But yeah, it's cool. I got to work with, the lead Mare Mulroney and a bunch of the women. And I was really happy to see them really try to do, doing these fight scenes. A lot of them had never done anything like this before. There's a lot of women empowerment in this film. So it was really great.
That's cool. And is there a director that you would actually love to work with? It sounds like film is in your future. So I'm just curious to know.
I'm just going to go for the biggest, someone like a Steven Spielberg.
Yes, you have to.
Why not? You got to aim high. I always say, I always have these goals and I always try to there's never a top of the mountain for me. And I've been told that before by people are you ever just happy with something? And I'm like, no, I am always trying to go higher and higher up the mountain and find these goals that a lot of people are going to think are absolutely ridiculous, but I don't see them that way. So, I'll just say, Steven Spielberg, in the future.
Franky, Franky Monet, Steven Spielberg, for sure, right? And speaking of climbing to the mountaintop and having so many goals, you're also a fashion designer, which is fantastic. You have your LOCA clothing range. So, and you also just spent, I believe it's a little over a year anniversary. So congratulations with that. So in terms of LOCA, what's next for the clothing range going into 2022?
Well, LOCA, I mean, I started in fashion school last year, actually, right pre-pandemic. I was registered. I spent all last year in school through the pandemic, which honestly was such a savior to me, because I needed this kind of creative outlet because I just wasn't being able to perform. And that's when LOCA was created, literally out of my kitchen, hand dyeing everything on it by myself. And now we've grown, and I've even, done a cut and sew collection in the winter that just went past. And I'm just learning as I go. And I'm just very thankful that my fans and everyone has been so supportive of something that I've always wanted to do. And I feel like there's the summer collection is coming out any day now. It's just difficult just because, everybody's still recovering from the pandemic, and trying to get a lot of things shipped from overseas or different things like that can be a whole other ball game compared to like what it was a few years ago. So everything's a little bit slower going, but I'm really happy to say that we're going to continue to be doing projects and continuing to dropping collections. And just, I'm very thankful for everybody who follows LOCA by Taya Valkyrie. And this is just kind of like another outlet for me to be creative. And I think that that's me in a nutshell. Like, I'm always looking for like creative things to do. If it's not, designing clothes or doing skits or, writing promos or, coming up with different ideas for my matches that are in the future, I'm always being creative.
And getting into your matches, because we have to talk a little bit of wrestling, obviously. So you recently did a promo where you put the whole women's locker room on notice, and you were like, I'm pretty much coming for anyone that wants the smoke. So besides...
I mean, yes, true.
So besides Raquel Gonzalez, of course you would want that women's NXT championship title. Who wouldn't? But besides Raquel, who else do you have your eyes on that you want to go toe to toe in the ring with?
Evil. I really, and I know this sounds so just like blah, but like it's absolutely everyone. Like I am here to prove myself. I'm here to show that I am the best at what I do. And I've proven that in other companies. I've proven that for over a decade, and I'm here to do it at NXT and in the WWE. So ultimately, I want to be champion. That is the goal. That's always the goal. So whoever I have to, walk over and break down and beat to get to Raquel, I have no problem doing it. All my work I back up everything that I say, and I have for years. So this is just another opportunity to go after what I want. And like we said, reach for the top of that mountain and keep going. So right now, that's my goal. And I don't care what girls say what or who's who. I'm here to take out Shotzi, take out Dakota, take out Raquel, take out Ember. I do not care, because I know that La Buena Loca, that Franky Monet is here on this planet to do that, just that, and that's to be champion.
Yes, that was a promo in and of itself. So I'm here for it. So is there any advice that you, now being in WWE, making your dreams come true, having all of these creative ventures, is there any advice that you would give to aspiring wrestlers, especially women wrestlers that want to?
I think number one, always find the most reputable school you have. I was very lucky to have found the Storm Wrestling Academy when I first started in Calgary. Lance Storm continued to be kind of like my wrestling uncle through all of this. Find a school that has an amazing reputation and have the best trainers. That is always so, so important, not only for yourself, but for your safety, for the safety of your opponent, and also to just have like really responsible advice, and as for women in this industry, it's about being your authentic self. Don't ever let someone try to put you in a box. I have destroyed the box. Like, I am myself. I am Franky. I'm Kira. I am this person. And like, I've been told no a million times, but you need to realize that that's part of sports entertainment. That is part of what we do. And we get down, we get pushed down, we get back up. It'll take 1 million no's before you get a good, like a yes. so you just have to be prepared for the grind and work your butt off and know that like, if this is what you want to do, you can absolutely do it. You have to commit to it 10 million%, but there is a way to be in this beautiful industry known as sports entertainment and absolutely kill it.
Mm-hmm. What did Lance Storm say to you when you finally made it to WWE? Was there any advice that he gave to you?
He's like, wow. He was just so proud of me. He knows like what I've been through and like how far I've come and all the struggles that I've had. And, he's just always been there for me. And so he was just so happy to see me thrive and get to where I've always wanted to be after all of the, obstacles and, curves in the road that I've traveled. And I mean, everyone knows I've definitely taken the road less traveled when it comes to being, in sports entertainment. And so, that's called being stubborn. It's called being determined. He was just extremely proud of me and just excited to see what I was going to do.
I love it. I love it. And I have to mention your cute Pomeranian, Presley. I was kind of hoping that he would make a sneak appearance.
I'm actually right now at the PC, so he's not here with me.
So cute. So whose idea was that? Was that all your idea to bring Presley, into the fold?
It's so weird because I feel like I just can't remember if there was one specific person, but I think that when we're, having meetings about Franky and everything like that, like it's very obvious that I love my dogs. If anyone who knows me and my husband, John, on social media, it's like every second picture is of Bowie and Presley. So it just kind of became a thing, or it was just an idea. And I think it's amazing. Presley has been in, has done indies with me before. He's been in a few movies. He's been in a few segments and things like that. So he deserves this shot. And so I'm just so proud of him. And he's been so easy to work with. Everyone's like, he's so trained. I'm like, listen, he will do anything for treats. I think he thinks that the PC is where the bacon factory is because he's always getting treats for doing his little parts and running down the hallway or whatever. But it's been really, really fun. And he's definitely very comfortable here now. He loves everyone. He's kind of become the therapy pet that everyone's like, oh my God, Presley. He's just been an absolute sweetheart. And, that those people asking how is he so calm when you walk to the ring with him or anything it is because he's been brought up around wrestling. When we had him as a baby, when we first brought him home, we had a ring at our house. So Presley was in the ring, running around and hearing the ropes when he was outside and people were working out and stuff like that. So he's just he's a second generation Pomeranian.
That's so cute. When is Bowie going to get into the action?
Okay, well, Bowie's the wild child, as we say. Presley's super calm and Bowie's crazy. So he's just over a year old. Presley's almost 5. So Bowie needs to have a little bit more training and hopefully we will see him sometime soon.
Fair enough. We're here for it. We're absolutely waiting and ready. And, I also have to mention the whole Johnny Drip Drip, the story behind how that nickname came about. And I understand it was born out of listening to Cardi B. And, there are rumors that Cardi B may show up at SummerSlam. So if you were to ever meet Cardi B, what would be the one thing that you would say to her?
I'd be like, that you're responsible for this, right? I am a huge Cardi B fan. I'm obsessed with her. I love her style. I love how unapologetic she is. I know she's a fan of, WWE and has been since she was a kid. Come on, let's go. Let's fight. I think that we should have Bad Bunny and Cardi B versus Johnny Drip Drip and Franky Drip Drip. I mean, come on.
Please, universe, let that happen.
That would be so fun.
It would be with Presley just kind of rooting you guys on.
Yeah, with a giant Presley bedazzled drip chain.
Yes, I would absolutely 100% love to see it. So thank you so much. This has been fantastic. And thank you for being you, because we've seen, your hardcore fans have seen you grow up in this industry. You've come such a long way. And it's really, really amazing to see you at NXT doing your thing, being unapologetically yourself. So thank you so much for your gifts and your talents, Franky.
Thank you. And I'm so thankful for the fans that have followed, the last 10 plus years of my career and who have seen me grow, like you said. And I'm so thankful for these new fans that I have and for the haters as well. I did it.
Do you have any parting words for us? Anything that we should look out for as you make
just we continue to support the era of Monet, and I just can't wait to be totally in the mix and everything that's going to be happening over this next year and beyond. And to follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Franky Monet WWE, all one word, Franky with a Y, and then also on Facebook we have a new official WWE Franky Monet page, so make sure you give that a like.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Franky. We can't wait to see what you get up to next.
Thank you so much.
We love you, and we are here for your success and for Presley and John Morrison's success. So thank you once again.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, and thank you everyone for watching this interview on Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Stay tuned for more exclusive content. I'm your host, Candace Cordelia, signing off.